My cousin Sawyer was born the same as you and I, but what made him different? Sawyer was diagnosed with Down syndrome. My cousin being diagnosed with Down syndrome really led me to look into Down syndrome and what it was and how it affected those. So today I'm going to be informing you of what Down syndrome is, how it is received, and how it affects those that have it. I'm also going to be informing you on what we can do to help those that do have it or help those that live with someone that is diagnosed with Down syndrome. But let me get to the basics. By definition, Down syndrome, or trisomy 21, is a genetic condition caused by an extra copy of chromosome 21. This extra copy causes delays in a child's development, such as like mental or physical delays, and these can be certain like birth defects or certain facial features. They can also be learning problems. They can also have hearing problems or vision problems as well. Some that have Down syndrome might suffer with heart issues, and they also might have problems going at a faster pace as the regular students in class. Also, Down syndrome is one of the most common birth defects seen in 1 in 800 babies. But let me tell you how it is received. How does a child receive Down syndrome? A baby is meant to inherit 46 chromosomes, 23 from their mom and 23 from their dad. Well, trisomy 21 occurs when a baby receives an extra copy of chromosome 21. So that means that the baby is receiving 47 total chromosomes, and that is what causes the Down syndrome in the baby. Making 47 total chromosomes causes the delays that children grow up with when they are diagnosed with Down syndrome. No one truly knows why Down syndrome happens, and there's nothing that you can do to prevent it from happening. But we do know that Down syndrome is actually, the chances are increased after women are 35 years old or older. Actually, by the time a woman is 40, the chances of her baby having Down syndrome at conception is 1 in 100. So that's a very high risk. Those that are diagnosed with Down syndrome most of the time will struggle, but it can vary from child to child. So let me tell you about their hard life or how they cope. Trisomy 21 affects a child in very many ways. Physically, it will give them upward slanted eyes. It might give them a shorter neck or smaller eyes, or smaller ears, or maybe a smaller mouth, and that makes their tongue seem a little protruding, makes their tongue seem big. They can also be shorter in height and grow at a slower rate than others their age, so that's why it's not very nice or very good for you to compare. Like if you were to have a child with Down syndrome and a child that was not did not have a disability, it would not be right for you to compare them on how well they're going. Like if they're both first grade, I wouldn't say, oh, why are you not going at the same pace? Like it's very common for those that have Down syndrome to go at a slower pace. They do also have thyroid problems, seizures, breathing problems, asthma, but most of these things can be helped with medication. But once they get older, there are resources for them, and that is the next topic I'm going to be speaking on, is resources and how we can help those that have Down syndrome or those that live with those that have Down syndrome. So some resources that can help are some early intervention services, such as like when you find out that your child has Down syndrome, you would want to get right into getting them into some services, like starting younger, because it will help them to get to that good pace that they need to be at once they're older. Also, it's very good for you to get them into physical, occupational, or speech therapy to help them grow at a faster rate or keep up with those that are their age. It's good for them to have early childhood educators, and also when you put them in school, they can be in a regular classroom, or you could have them in the early intervention services where they can be in a special classroom with someone working with them at their pace. Also, once the child is 3 and older, they will qualify for the IDEA Act, and that is a act for those that have Down syndrome, and that will give them an IEP for each child. Also, once they're older, like wanting to work, a lot of people that have Down syndrome do have good jobs and they can maintain in the world with people around them just like everybody else, and they do that through special work programs or go to classes that teach them how to do the same as those around them. In conclusion, today I have informed you of Trisomy 21 and what it involves and what it is and how it affects those that are diagnosed with it. I've also told you about what we can do to help them and what is right to do whenever you find out that a child has Down syndrome, or how you can help them. Specifically, I told you the points of what it is, what it does, how it affects those, and what actions you can take. I hope that you've been informed and you learned something that you did not know about Down syndrome today.